Really excited about the season coming up. Have Mo Bamba, Andrew Jones, and Dylan Osadkowski here with me today. They and their teammates have done a great job all preseason long. We took a trip to Australia in August, which was really good for our group in terms of chemistry and spending time together. Also played some really good competition over there, learned a lot about our team. So looking forward to getting started in 17 days, our first game, and super excited about the Big 12 season as well.
Okay, questions for Coach. If you would, please give your name and affiliation. When you ask your first question on the far left-hand side, Brian, we sure don't know who you are.
Hey, Shaka. Brian Davis, Austin American-Statesman. You talked at home about how Dylan was still kind of an under-the-radar player. Bringing him to Media Day, doesn't that put him on the radar? Isn't that kind of – and jokingly aside, though, doesn't he kind of – he does deserve it, correct?
To be here? Yeah, well, the thing that's different, I mean, anytime you sit out and transfer, you're just not seen for that whole year. And before that, he was a guy that was really under-recruited, played at Tulane, which is in a really good conference, but not a league that maybe receives as much national attention as the Big 12. And I just told him, actually back in the back about 5 minutes ago, I said, you know what's really neat? I said, as we walk around here and there's all these other teams and other players and coaches, and a lot of them know each other. None of them know you. And now they get a chance to, or he gets a chance to introduce himself as a basketball player to the rest of the league and everyone else that we play.
Questions for Coach. We got a question on the right-hand side aisle.
Shaka, Chuck Carlton, Dallas Morning News. As you look at this team right now, and admittedly still trying to, fit everybody in, but what strikes you about where you've most improved from last year with this team, and how much improvement have you seen?
We just have a lot more versatility than we had last year. Last year there was a couple positions where we didn't have a guy at that spot that was his true position. And a lot of people talk about point guard. That was one of them. But the other one was the 4 spot, which is really important in what we do and the way we play. Jared Allen did a phenomenal job of moving to that position from where he had played pretty much just around the basket in high school. He got better and better as the course of the year went on. But for us, it's important to have at least one big on the floor that can pass, handle, shoot, play away from the basket, and is comfortable doing that. So we've taken a big step in that area with Dylan and even a couple of our other guys. How much have we improved? I think we've improved a great deal, but, then again, we haven't played a game since, March, whatever it was, when we played here, against West Virginia. So the exciting thing is getting on the court in a real game against real competition on November 10th and moving forward and getting a chance to test how well we're able to carry over all the things we've worked on culturally and all the things that we've worked on the court.
We got a question on the rear, and then we'll come over the middle.
Shaka, Wendell Barnhouse, the Field House. Talking with Dylan, he said that you guys met pretty soon after last season and kind of talked about, starting a new culture or setting a new culture. And how much can he help you guys just maybe playing with an edge and being just kind of a, tone setter? And is that something you guys really need?
There's no question. I think the fact that he's someone that was very under-recruited, has always been a guy with a chip on his shoulder, is huge for our team. We have some other guys on our team that were very highly recruited and always were, maybe in that position where they were used to a lot of things being done for them. Dylan's been on the other side of that. He came to me as soon as the season got done. He had a bunch of notes that he'd written down. He wanted to talk about leadership and how he could be a good leader for our team. We ended up formalizing our culture, putting it down on paper about a month or two after that, giving it to our whole team, something that we talk about and meet about on a weekly basis. And he's been a really good culture driver from that regard. So excited to see him get the opportunity to actually play because it's been a long time for him.
Got a question on the aisle, and then we'll move inside.
Shaka, Blair Kirkhoff with the Kansas City Star. Are you confident this will be a better shooting team?
It better be. That's definitely an area where we need to take a big jump from last year. We've shot a lot better in practice, but as you know, carry over to the game it is what really matters. I think we have some guys on our team that are better shooters than they shot last year. It's a matter of putting them in position to get high-quality shots as much as possible and then for them to jump up and knock them down. I do think we'll have better passers. There's an old saying in coaching, the passer makes the shooter. And I think we'll have better guys to hit guys on time and on target with passes to create more high-quality shots. But, yeah, to answer your question, I think we'll be a much improved shooting team. Do I think we'll be the best shooting team in the country? Probably not, but I think we'll be much improved.
Got a question on the inside, and then we'll come to the outside.
Jeff Borzello, ESPN. How much easier does Matt Coleman make it for sort of the rest of the perimeter guys, especially allow them to play off the ball?
Yeah, Jeff, it makes it easier for everyone in that he doesn't want to shoot as his first option. And he will shoot if he's open. He shot the ball pretty well from outside. But the first thing he wants to do is get other guys involved. And it's so powerful to have someone like that. Between him and Dylan, those guys can really create offense for teammates and for people around them. And we just didn't have that last year. So I think guys are starting to recognize and learn the value of playing with Matt. And that will get even more powerful as he gets his feet under him. Right now in practice, those other guards, they go at him when they're playing against him because he came in as this guy that everyone anointed as our point guard. But he's handled it really well.
Got a question on the aisle.
Coach Carlos Mendez, Fort Worth Star-Telegram. How difficult is the first year for a coach in this league? And considering that, what do you think of the job Jamie Dixon did in his first year?
I thought he did a great job. I think it's challenging your first year anywhere because there's just so much transition and so much unknown. But I think he did a really nice job getting that team to reflect the way that he believes the game of basketball should be played with a level of toughness and a team orientation. They really showed that almost from day one, it seemed like. The players did a great job buying in because, as a coach, one thing you learn is it doesn't matter, what philosophy you teach unless the players are all in, and it seems like they had really good buy-in with that. So, they're certainly going to be a team to really watch this year because they had such a strong year last year, and then they got the vast majority of those guys back.
We have time for one final question. Got a question in the front middle.
Hey, Shaka, Nick Moyle with the San Antonio Express-News. Just to touch on Matt again briefly, you have in him now the true point guard that you really didn't have last year, but obviously a freshman point guard is going to encounter problems. How much freedom are you going to give him to sort of work through the issues that are obviously going to come this season?
Yeah, that's a great point. He's not going to play perfectly. He's not going to play mistake-free, and we don't want his confidence to drop when things do, when challenges do present themselves. I think that's one of the benefits of the fact that we went on a foreign tour this summer is he's already been in some game situations where he's had some success, he's taken some lumps, he's been in some different situations, and he's a fast learner. I think he's a guy who's got a lot of internal belief. But to answer your question, we believe that he's a really good point guard. We believe that he's a guy that can facilitate the game for those around him and make the game easier for those around him. So that belief is not going to change. And he's certainly going to have some good games and have some games that probably aren't great. But he's a guy that we believe has grown considerably since he got here in June, and he's going to continue doing so.
Okay, Coach, thank you very much for your comments and good luck.
You guys